Hello everyone, I'm on the way to Sepang for McLaren track day, the McLaren's track day, and I just want to be able to do a Q&A on the way there. Now, I must admit that I've always wanted to do Q&As for my YouTube channel, and I've been really procrastinating doing it. I think the reason is because I wanted a nice studio and stuff like that to do it, but you know, that's just the fact that I couldn't pull it off in the last 3-4 months. You know, I don't want to put it in the back burner anymore. The fact is that I've really been procrastinating, and you know, I don't want to wait anymore. I'm not looking for the perfect moment. I'm just going to find moments where I can speak uninterrupted and sort of talk to you, right? Because I see my YouTube channels, my social media accounts as a way to connect with a community, right? And that's what I want to do. I want to start connecting with you guys more. So all these Q&A sessions, if you have any questions, I drop them on my Instagram DM. I may not reply to them immediately because I do get a lot of DMs, but I may pick your questions and turn it into a Q&A session like this. Okay, so yeah, the reason I'm doing this is because I know there's a lot of people who are in the car community or car enthusiasts and would like to get affirmation from people who are also car enthusiasts, because sometimes being a car enthusiast, you know, like myself, when I wanted to buy a sports car and I wanted to enjoy this thing because it's the thing that I really want to do in life. For most common people, they're like, you know, car's just a piece of metal, right? You know, doing it to flex, you know, or you know, it's a waste of money, waste of time, you know. And that's where a lot of people feel like they can't get sort of good advice or good, you know, conversations around owning nice cars, okay? Unless you hang around the like-minded people, okay? And for some people, maybe they don't have that in their circle, and I want to make this happen on my YouTube channel, my Instagram channel. I want to be able to connect with you guys, okay? So DM me your questions, whether it's what car you're thinking about buying, or maybe it's about, you know, lifestyle or making more money so you can earn nicer cars, buy nicer cars and stuff like that, okay? So let's start off with this question today. This is a guy that's probably in university and he's asking, how do I own a supercar before 25 years old? Now, this may sound like, for some of you, you know, like, you know, a young guy, you know, like, stay in your lane, don't go to, you know, delay your dreams. I'll say this first to whoever's asking this question. Good ambition. I think there's nothing wrong with the ambition, okay? And in fact, I've seen and also heard many stories of younger people achieving huge financial success at an early age, right, below 30. And you know, I may not have earned so much money that I could be able to buy a supercar by 27, 28, but I've able to build a network marketing business that generates 6 figures and more, which I never thought was possible, right, at the age of 24 when I was still working, right? So it took me 3 years. So let me just backtrack to this question, and it's very important. How would I do it? Let me answer this question by saying, how would I do it, okay? So let's say I'm 21 years old, I'm graduating, or I've graduated, and I'm looking for the fastest way or the best way to get to my goals and dreams, okay? So the first thing I'll do is I will reverse engineer. Okay, so I'll look at, let's say I want a supercar, and let's just make a rough assumption you want a 488 GTB and it costs 1.2 million ringgit, okay? And let's say you're gonna, in 3-4 years time, you're gonna buy one still under loan, okay? So the first thing I'll need to find out is, you know, how much money do I need as a down payment for that car? Okay, I'm taking this loan route, okay? So let's say 1.2 million, I'm gonna put 30% down. I need 360,000 ringgit in cash, ready to pay. And number two, my installments will look, you know, let's say I take a 5-year loan, it's gonna look somewhere between, I'm just guesstimating right now, let's just say 12,000, you know, maintenance costs, everything, ding dong. Let's say I just need 15,000 to 16,000 ringgit per month, you know, including maintenance costs, road tax, whatever, right? Let's just make it easy, 20,000 ringgit a month. Therefore, my yearly outgoing is 240,000 ringgit, and my down payment is 360,000 ringgit, okay? So, first of all, income goal. To solve the outgoing, I probably want to make anywhere between 60,000 to 100,000 ringgit net. Okay? Because then 20% of that payment will go to the car, or 30% of the payment will go to the car. So that's number one. Number two is, you know, if I can achieve that kind of income, I would definitely able to save up 360,000 ringgit, you know, over the, you know, able to save them up, right? So now that sounds like huge numbers, which is where I want to present this. It already ruled out what choices you have to get there. Okay, so number one, you probably don't by working for someone, for being employed with someone, chances are really, really low. I don't know if there's any employment that allows you to get there really fast. Okay, so I probably will avoid the employment route. And number two is starting a business, which is probably now getting more probable that you get there, because now you have a possibility to scale, earn more money, have more control. But I'll say this though, 3 years in starting a business means you do a traditional business where you figure out a product, you gotta build capital, you gotta either loan money for the capital and pay off the loan, operate the business and everything. I would say that it takes more than 3 years to make that kind of money, right? Especially if you have no experience. Okay. Now it'd be a different story if you told me that you've launched multiple successful businesses. You know how to set things up, and you're going into a business that's relatively similar to your experience. Okay, so let's say I've done the workshop business and I'm able to scale it up to 10 workshops, and I take a net profit of 150,000 ringgit to 200,000 ringgit a month. Okay, now if I've done that and I want to be able to go into, let's say, a car detailing business. Okay, again, it's not exactly the same, but I've got the experience with car service kind of industry. I have the network. I probably have even suppliers. I even got probably contacts that can link me up, and I know how to pick the right location. So in that case, you probably can do it in 3 years. That shouldn't be a problem. But if you're starting off new, like this guy over here, and assuming you have no experience, don't start a business. It's going to be high chances that you're going to fail. Okay, and you're going to pay a big price for it. Okay, oh look at that, it's McLaren's. Woohoo! Right, let's see. There you go. There you go. Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm gonna take a little break to just show you guys the McLaren's. I'm like a I feel so odd being a little French car with 1.8 liter. Alright. Look at that. Look at that. Oh. They're gorgeous, aren't they? Look at that. Okay, enough of the advertisement. Let's come back to the real conversation today. Okay, so the third way that I would suggest that I would do if I'm at age, with the knowledge and the experience I have right now, is I will go into a sales and marketing route. And what I mean by that is that I want to be an affiliate. I don't want to work the business. I don't want to set up the business. I want to be able to just sell. Okay, because selling means I make money. Okay, I don't have, I'm not tied down to operations and figure out a lot of things. All I gotta do is figure out one thing: how to sell. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll find a company that allows you to sell something. And again, I want to just say this. A lot of people might think, selling, you mean like insurance, or selling some products or other MLM or network marketing companies. But here's my argument, right? Yes, it has a negative connotation because many people fail in it, but it's a matter of skills, right? If you're not skilled, you're going to perform poorly in anything. Okay, so and you notice the people who say bad about these industries, they themselves are not in it, or they haven't given it a real shot or tried properly. Okay, so let's take for example the Bajaya Group, right? The founder, he started off by being an insurance agent, right? So not only able to amass a huge amount of income, but he learned skills and network that allowed him to go to this level today, right? I mean to start his first, the next business venture, next, right? So selling not only gives you cash, it actually develops a certain kind of skill that's really relevant. Okay, I'm getting really distracted by all these McLarens because they're gorgeous, right? Just take a look. Right? Oh wow, there you go. Like a silver color is really nice. Oh, is that an LT? Oh, it's an LT, it's 600 LT. That's gorgeous. The blue 600 LT. Yeah. It's really nice. Really nice. 600 LTs. Woo! What a good day. What a good day, my friends. Okay, anyways. So yeah, that's what I'll do. Okay? I'll try to increase my income so I'm able to start so I'm able to start earning. I'm getting distracted. I'm sorry guys. Okay, let's come back over here, alright? So I want to focus on being able to increase my income. Okay? So today's world, in order to thrive, I think in this network marketing or affiliate marketing or stuff like that, the methods are very different. Now, back in the days, there's a lot of like, ask your friend out, knock on doors and everything. Today we have something called social media, and I believe the best thing you can do to succeed in that area is to build a social media account that attracts the prospects to you. And again, the best part about building a social media account is not only it can generate leads for you, but it's an asset you can use for the rest of your life. That's its social capital, is branding. Okay, and that's the modern way, and that's what I've been doing a lot with my network marketing business, where I teach people how to sell, how to recruit, how to build teams, and we don't go and knock on people's door and ask people for yum cha sessions and coffee sessions anymore, right? So not longer outreaching. So if you want to succeed in that area, that's called marketing. How do you generate leads to you, and then how do you close? Okay, and I think with that, in 3 years, it'll be tough, right? To this young man over here, it'll be tough. But I'm not saying, I think that your chances are way higher, right? Of course, depending on your skill level and your personality and this and that, and how much you need to invest, right? If I'm you, no matter how much I earn, let's say if my first year I start to make my first 10,000 ringgit a month, I will keep a good portion and keep investing not only on assets in the future, like stocks, bonds and everything. I will also take a good portion and invest onto myself, right? So this is not financial advice, this is what I would do. Let's say I'm earning 10,000 ringgit net a month for my commissions of selling things. I will take at least 2,000 ringgit and I put it aside for any sort of investments. If I don't know what to invest, I'll just put it aside, decide later. The other one would be 20%. I'll put it, okay, the first 20%, if I don't know what to do, I'll put it into money market and certain funds that net me, a pretty good like interest. So maybe like something like Versa, where I can get like 3 to 5% depending on the promotions, and just keep piling that money up until I make my moves in the future. Okay. Number 2 is I would probably invest another 2 to 3,000 ringgit a month on my personal development, skills, right, mindset, right? Because all these things are going to make the difference in me selling. Okay, so again, I'll put it aside in the funds that I'll use later on. I don't know when I'll use it, I'll just put it there and just leave all 5,000 ringgit, right? I will not try to expand my life too quickly. I want to be able to just keep learning as my first year. In my second year, I probably want to set a goal to at least go from 10,000 to 50,000. Okay, so again, that's a big stretch, but if you've been investing in skills, especially like marketing skills, all right, sales skills, team building skills, all these are really important skills to scale up to 50,000 ringgit. Whether you're doing affiliate or network marketing or insurance sales, whatever, you need to have a team. 10,000, 20,000 ringgit a month, I think is doable by sales alone. But if you want to really build a consistent income, you're able to scale up a business, you need a team building skills, right? And then the third year, this is when you start seeing everything merge together, and that's when I'll be able to start. My 50% will be much bigger, right? And I'll have money to put aside for my future supercar, Ferrari, McLaren, whatever is it, and so on and so forth. Yeah, that's how I would do it. Keep my eyes on the goal and make sure I plan my route over there. Okay, so I hope you enjoy, and I hope to this young man you get this video over here, and all the best to your goals. Don't let anyone tell you it's not possible. You just have to put in a lot of work and take a route that's very different than anyone else. So final note is that don't expect everyone to understand you, right? If you're gonna do something that less than 1% people will do, don't look for acknowledgement. Don't look for people to give you the thumbs up, right? That's the worst thing you can do, because only less than 1% people are gonna think like you, right? So what you want to do is don't seek for that approval. And this is my opinion. If they are not in the arena fighting with you like you, then what's good? What their opinions are more like observation from a spectator, right? You want to get opinions from the players, not the spectators. Don't get affected, right? You're thinking like a less than 1%. You're gonna start remembering that the 1% doesn't, it's not a slave to 99% people's opinion. Carve your way powerfully. You're gonna get the most rejection and the most discouraging things in the beginning, but as you start building up your momentum and you start meeting more people who are successful, especially when you go and attend courses and you meet more people, right? You go and meet more richer or successful people, you're gonna learn from them, and then you're gonna start forming a new identity around it, right? So that's my last sort of like advice if I were to answer this question. Okay, yeah. So yes, thank you so much for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoy this kind of episodes. I will do more of it in the future. I'm no longer going to wait for the best time. If I'm in the car, I'll do it in the car. Okay. So with that, I'm almost reaching Sepang. I'm going to enjoy myself in Sepang. All right. And let me know in the comments what do you think about this episode. Like and subscribe to my channel for more content in the future. Check out my other channels like my Instagram, my Threads account. Oh yeah, and I'm also starting to do more writing. So I'm writing to my community on how to build more today's AI-powered strategies for sales and marketing. To build wealth in the future. Okay, so more of that in my newsletter. Okay, it's called the Game Changers newsletter. I'll put the link in the description below so you can subscribe to that newsletter. All right, if you're one of those people who want to get involved with AI-powered wealth strategies for today to get tomorrow's wealth. Okay, so all right, see you in another video, and as always, peace out. Keep it 100.